G'day guys, welcome back to not Wistful Fields. We are actually right back at our original base near Longkeep. Hope you guys are doing well today. In the previous episode, we finally moved in our very first settler, let's say, quote unquote, to Wistful Fields. And the farmer is now living in the very nice house that we've created for her. And hopefully she likes living there. We do have a bit more work to do, obviously, at Wistful Fields, but I figure maybe since it's been like 4 or 5 episodes of building, we probably also want to think about just going out there and doing some exploration. I am a big believer in sort of having a bit of a mix in my content, so I hope you guys don't mind if I do that. I am still going to start, though, with a little bit more crafting and decorating just for the moment, and I sort of want to see what my options are when it comes to smaller sort of knickknacks and stuff. So let's just have a look. So we've got like dishes and stuff like that we could perhaps make. A jug, okay, yeah. Maybe that's not a bad thing for the kitchen. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that we could perhaps maybe craft for the kitchen as well. It does take up quite a lot of bronze though, which, you know, is... Oh, this one takes copper. This one too. Yeah, but the bronze stuff, maybe we won't worry too much about the bronze stuff just yet, because we do need to save a bit of bronze so that we can make our latest armor sets. Let me just take a look here. Okay, so we don't even have a lot of copper bars, to be honest. We might need to just pivot to some copper bars right now in that case. But I'll swing back to when the copper bars are done. I know that there's other things that we can still craft here that might fit the space that we're trying to decorate. So decorative dishes and stuff. We've got like all of the wooden stuff here, which I could make, which might not be a bad thing. Maybe a couple of plates here and there. A cup. Maybe... Oh, actually, I've made a bit of a boo-boo here, but I've just realized that you get quite a few of these things in the one batch. I would like some books as well, so we do have some old books, not a lot though, so we just need to sort of keep that in mind. And I might need to source more old books in various places, so let's maybe craft one open book. I probably make like a collection of books as well, just to sit on the desk. Yeah, okay, that looks decent. And at least now we know that while we're exploring, we're gonna need to try and find some more of those old books to break down. I do want a firefly lamp, because I think that might look actually quite nice, just sitting on top of the desk for the farmer. Let's have a chat with Cade to see what else he has to offer when it comes to decorations. So yeah, there's a lot of this stuff here, the miscellaneous stuff, and I did talk about perhaps making some barrels and crates that would go into the attic. And yeah, we just need a little bit of extra charcoal here to make the barrels, so we should have, yeah, we've got plenty of charcoal. So let's grab that, and let's just quickly make ourselves... I don't know how many we need here, but let's go with a couple of barrels, maybe a couple of wooden crates, and then we'll see how we go with what we have. Let's throw that back there. Other decorative things? Not so much all of that, maybe some of these things. Cupboards, okay. Shelves. Yeah, I forgot that we do have the option of putting down shelves and stuff. I do like the carved wooden shelf. that we can just put onto the wall, and I think this will fit quite nicely in the kitchen. So I'll get one of those, and then yeah, I'm thinking a wooden cabinet of some sort. I don't know what's larger. I feel like they're both around about the same size. One's just a little bit wider and shorter, and then the other one's taller. I think if we're going to put this in the farmer's room, I feel like because there's not a lot of space, maybe we need the one that's just taller, but not so much wider. And that might suit the space a little bit more. Okay, so let's head on out to Wistful Fields and we'll get going with all of this. And yeah, just in case you wanted to know, I did actually do a lot of work between this episode and the last, just getting a whole bunch of materials and stuff like that organized for future building. So hopefully we won't have too much of an issue when it comes to trying to make sure that we've got materials and the like. But anyway, what should we do? Can we place this somewhere? I guess so. I wonder if it might be a nice idea to sort of have this sitting sort of like around where the cooking station is. I feel like perhaps maybe when the kettle's not boiling, we can actually have this thing sort of sitting on it, boiling water for teas and coffees and stuff, you know? I mean, we do still have spares here. Maybe I can start putting some of this stuff on top. I guess maybe we don't have enough space. Let me actually see if I can get myself a better viewing angle. Because, yeah, it is a little bit difficult to see what I'm doing there, but if I put something there, will I be able to see a bit better? I'm hoping. Yeah, we are getting an option there to place something down. I think that's perfect. So we could like have a spare kettle sitting there. Maybe this next one I will keep for decorating another space, but let's see, what else do we have? We've got wooden cups, which might be good to sort of go in this relative location right next to the kettle, or the spare kettle rather. So let's just carefully place that down. I reckon maybe just one more there. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, although I guess maybe I would have liked a different texture. Perhaps maybe the texture is not the best for this sort of quasi-cabinet thing that we've created. Anyway, moving on. We've got some plates. I've seen people sort of stack plates before. I'm not entirely sure how that's achieved and what is best practice to try to stack plates. But yeah, maybe I still feel like I need a little bit more height to work with. So let me just add one more block, the edge here, and maybe that will let me put this down. Yes? No? Maybe no? The other option is I could just bust down the ceiling from the top, and I could perhaps maybe get a vantage point from there. And I could always fix all of this up a little bit later. Yeah, look at that. So I should be able to place this down. Yeah. One more? I don't know. That could be excessive. Let's just take a look at what that looks like. Okay. It's not bad, actually. I might add one more. The one that we have just placed seems to be slightly out of place, but that's okay. I don't want things to be too neat. You know, I like the idea of having this place look like it's lived in. And I like to imagine that all of these people are not neat freaks, you know? Okay, we probably do have space for something else there, like maybe I don't know if we'll get glassware at some point, maybe, but even if we do make things from bronze, for example, I could put something over there, right in the corner. And then we can put stuff over here on the table as well. So yeah, plenty of space for even more decorating. I do have the one book. Initially, I was thinking of putting it in I was thinking of putting it simply in her room, but perhaps maybe she needs like a recipe book, you know, to help with the cooking and stuff. Who knows? I could put it like right here, for example. But no. Let's save this for the actual room, because that was what I sort of originally planned to do anyway. Is it me, or does that book sort of look like it's slightly hovering? It does look kind of like that, doesn't it? Slightly unnatural that way, but anyway. Again, not gonna fuss over it too much. Let's maybe place a stack of books over here. Yeah, that looks good. She can get a mug. Because, you know, maybe she likes to enjoy her tea or something like that while she's reading. And we can also get the firefly lamp in right here on the desk. Because, yeah, I mean, I was sort of thinking I do have a lot of candles and I could perhaps maybe use some candles. Which, actually, I don't have on me at the moment. I think I may have stashed that away somewhere. But then I sort of thought, maybe it's not such a good idea to have candles right here next to stuff that could easily burn. I have seen ideas where people explore using tables and stuff to create nice looking windowsills. And I may actually steal that idea at some point. But again, I guess we've added a lot of detail so far. And I'm sort of thinking maybe we don't have to add too much more to start bringing people in, and then we can sort of gradually add a little bit of detail as we go, you know? Doesn't have to be immediately done. Just looking at this section here, and I'm thinking, do we even need to have this here? Does it look better if we just did that? That looks a little bit cleaner, doesn't it? But I suppose I don't really mind that detail either. Anyway, I guess I'm just being a little bit pedantic here, but if you guys have any views on whether or not it looks okay, or whether or not I should be changing anything, let me know in the comments. Don't really get a lot of comments on Enshrouded, actually. I guess got a shy viewership. But all good. I don't mind people lurking. Alright, so that actually looks quite nice. And yes, it is sort of, you know, on an angle. I don't know if that's really what we want to go for when it comes to the shelf. Maybe because it's a shelf, you know, having it on an angle doesn't really make sense. Perhaps we should just place it down like a normal person, which is to align it to the wall. Okay. Plenty of opportunity yet to put more stuff like on top of it, in the shelves, so we should sort of have a think about all of that. Let me take a look. What else do we have? Alright. I think I'm pretty satisfied. I did have to take down the table there, so might actually place this table back down. And this one I'll leave like that, on an angle, or a slight angle. I think that looks good. Yeah, we're getting comfort level 37 here, and I guess in comparison to our old home, I haven't exactly spent a lot of time decorating that, but we're getting a lot more comfort here. So 47 minutes rested. We almost never have to go home in a single episode to become rested. Looking good. I'm just sort of looking at all the other stuff that we have here. We do have the barrels and the crates that we should sort of be putting down in various locations. Okay, I didn't expect these crates to be so small. I was thinking that they would be a lot bigger. But anyway, that's totally fine. So I'm thinking we have like a barrel there. Then we can put like a couple of crates. Maybe I do need a few more crates strewn about in this space. It does make sense in my mind that, you know, your attic is used to store stuff that you're not really using in a given season. I could put like more candles and stuff on top of these things as well. But yeah, anyway. Getting a little ahead of myself. Alright, now if you thought that our decorating session was over, think again. I do have just a little bit more that I want to do before we start thinking about exploring, and that is to actually start using some of these pots. I did start making some pots in the previous episode, and I've also started making a few different type of pots to hopefully sort of decorate the space with greenery and flowers. I do have the smaller pots as well. I'm just trying to remember where I've kept them. I feel like I did have to move some of my pots outside. Actually, I think they might actually be there already in storage. Let me just have a look. Yeah, because don't forget we do have a bit of storage sitting back here. Yeah. Few small pots there. Actually, a few more stacks. I'll put other things in here actually because these might come in handy later. If we run out of storage here, I'm gonna start using the ones that we've used for the bespoke piece of furniture that we've crafted. Oh yes, the wooden shelf. I almost forgot about that. Let's just quickly do that. And I do have to speak to the farmer as well because, excuse me, the farmer is the one that's going to actually, you know, give us the option to make those potted plants. I don't know how I feel about that. But I am sort of tied to the idea of having a bright workspace. So I do want to keep the candle here, and ideally I would like to keep the candle around about that height. So this might be a bit of a problem. I mean, that doesn't really look right. To have the candle just sitting there. Unless... Got an idea here, guys. Unless I want to actually... Because, yeah, I'm just looking at how much light there is here. I mean, an alternative could be that we just put another candle there, and that could provide, like, a decent amount of light. Or, perhaps, we could use one of the just freestanding candles, which I do have in here. So if I just grab the one, and so the idea is if I place down my shelf, I can put the candle on it, and that would presumably be enough light for the space. So something like that, and then get that candle in. I mean, I could put a candle right here. Let's just maybe play around with it a little bit and decide. Okay, I'm gonna need a higher angle. Maybe we'll do that same trick. We'll just try to decorate from above. So place that down there. Yeah, actually that's quite a bit of light. And I do like that, actually. So we're saving one wall-mounted candle. I mean, lighting-wise, there's probably a little bit of a weird thing going on here. Like, unfortunately, I guess the game doesn't really cast, like, shadows and stuff like that for detailed things. Like, there's no shadow on our character, for example, no shadows on the craftspeople, or any of the other things that are in this room, to be honest. There's just major shadows here and there. But yeah, I think that looks good, so let's move on. I'm gonna have to store the candle, but I'll come back to that, and we'll have a chat with good old... oh, I've forgotten the farmer's name. Anyway.
Don't overwork yourself.
What is her name? Emily. Emily Frey. Right. First things first, though, is we do need some soil, right? So all of these things are actually made with some flower soil. And interestingly, there are ones where you can essentially hang as well, which is quite nice. We'll need metal scraps and some charcoal for that, but I won't worry about those ones for now. And I really just want to get some of these tiny flower pots, and yeah, we've got like all sorts of different colors as well, which is really nice. Okay, so flower soil. Firstly, we need farm soil. Okay, we need a bit of bone meal for that. We should have the bone meal here. Okay, so that's one issue that I've not really realized, but having things sort of tucked close together with like pieces of furniture makes it a little bit harder to interact with things. So now we should be able to make some flower soil as well, but let's get a couple of batches of farm soil, and then a couple of batches of flower soil, and then now we should be able to get these things here. So small flower pots, medium flower pots. I guess I already have the ability to craft some of these things. Actually, the non-mounted ones are probably the ones that we want to focus on. So we'll get a few of each of these things, various colors and stuff. Even ferns look quite nice. Then some of the smaller flower pots here. We'll get that and that and that.
Farewell.
Okay, you know what? I would prefer maybe having some natural sunlight here. I know this is Emily's bed, but you know what? It's fine. We'll have a sleep. For now. I'm sure she won't mind us borrowing the bed. Oh yes, and I shouldn't forget to plug this up. Brilliant. Oh man, I am super happy with the way things are turning out with this place. If anything, I mean, all of this ugly stuff, all of the... well, it's not exactly scaffolding, is it? But like all these pieces that I've used to actually build, I should actually take down sometime soon. But for now, they can remain there, I guess. Let me start by throwing stuff into storage. Just a few things. Like all of the pots that we're not using. I think this can go. Candle. And I'll stash more bone meal back into the grinder. Good. Okay. So, time to think about where flowers and stuff might go. Starting with some small flower pots. Yeah, we just want to be a bit careful about like leaving flowers in spots where they would catch fire. I mean, it's not like it's going to happen, but you know, I like to try and imagine that this is a realistic setting. Ferns. I think ferns... I think a nice big old fern... Well, it's not really huge, but that's a decent spot for a fern, I think. She'll definitely have some plants growing in her room, that's for sure. So I'll do another fern there. And yeah, I mean, ideally, perhaps maybe having like stuff right here as well, right next to the window, would be quite nice. Okay. I think it makes sense to have like a big plant sitting up here as well. But I don't know if I really want to put like another fern there. Maybe it's a little excessive. Don't want to go too crazy on it. There is probably a point where we're adding too much detail. I mean, arguably, if you're not really interested in any of the building or anything like that in this game, then we're already there. I'm adding a lot of detail to this place. Yeah, I reckon having quite a few plants here just sitting around would look quite nice. And they should get enough sunlight, right? Provided that someone comes along and, you know, gives them a little bit of water here and there. What colors do we have? I think maybe one more, like, red one would look nice. Just rotate it a little bit. I mean, that looks good. In my view. Just a little corner of plants. I don't know about putting some potted plants, like, up here on the chimney. I don't know if that makes sense. We don't have a small, generic green one, do we? Like a small fern. That'd look kind of cool. I don't know about putting some over here, because it's a little bit close to the candle. Might not really be good for it. Outside. Might make sense to have a few potted plants outside. One thing that I'm kind of confused about, guys, is what I'm going to do in this space. You know, I like the idea of perhaps maybe having, you know, like a table and some chairs, and it'll be a nice sort of area for people to sort of relax. But then I'm not entirely sure if we want to have like a like a pergola type thing, where we've got a little bit of a roof situation happening above it. I've tested it and I'm not sure if I really like the look. I don't know if I want to put like more on this side, and if that's a little excessive. I suppose that's not too bad. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't used. I think it's time for us to start using these spaces. I just need to remember that there's some stuff here that we can use to continue with decorating. Okay, so, what is next on the agenda? Well, I would say it is time for us to go out, explore, because it's been a while. Let's actually just prepare for that, because I do have a lot of, like, construction blocks on me, and I don't really want to be bringing all of that. Dirt? Yeah, I suppose I can maybe just chuck dirt in there. Water, yeah, I guess I can just keep the water with me. That's fine. Right. Yeah, this place is looking good. Coming along. Should I get a chandelier in here? I don't know. We've already got one. And since the farmer's here, I'm sort of contemplating about whether or not I want to start, like, growing stuff now. In these spaces. I could, but then we'd be sort of switching between building and harvesting stuff, and maybe it's not such a good idea. Anyway, one thing that I'll mention right now though, guys, I think I am going to take down some of the stuff that we use to assist with the building, and I'll do that offline. But for now, we'll go exploring. And we're not going for like a huge, like, explore session. I'm just hitting up a few of the question marks that are accessible and nearby. And that would count, hopefully, as a bit of a jaunt and a bit of an adventure. So that's the plan anyway. So yeah, there's this section here, which I feel like it should be easily reachable. But then there's this as well. I'm not entirely sure if we access this from this side or if we access it from this side. But if it's from this side, then we can simply just go down that way. So yeah, let's do that. Let's start with that. I'm gonna have food. Just make sure that we are ready for anything, really. And yes, it's been a while, so we might do like half of this episode and perhaps maybe the next episode adventuring and, you know, hitting up a few objectives. And then we'll come back to thinking about building and decorating even more. Obviously, the low-hanging fruit when it comes to the build is getting our hunter set up in her space. But I am sort of a little bit confused as to what to do because she's got some stations that I feel like they don't really make sense to be placed indoors. Okay, so should be around here somewhere. Alright, there's some kind of a thing that we can climb up here, so I'm hoping this will lead us to wherever it is we need to be. I feel like we've been here before, and we didn't find the right way. It could be that we need to actually approach this area from the other biome. From the highlands. So, yeah. It is a bit of a jaunt, though. So let's hope that we can actually get there without too much of an issue. I'll take free chicken. Free bird meats. Not really interested in fighting these guys. Let's just make our way. I am interested in trying to collect some materials if we do get the chance, like aloe, for example. Since we still can't grow aloe ourselves. And I do also want to experiment a little bit, guys. There's, like, that tree there. It looks like something that we've never really cut down before, so... and I sort of recognizing this because I feel like perhaps maybe we're missing a few types of blocks in our build efforts. Not that I want to use every type of block available to us. It's just that I feel like having the option there would be nice. Let's see what this is. It could potentially just... yeah, okay. Just give us normal wood logs. And yes, that's what it is giving us. Right. Well, scratch that. At least we tried, though. I feel like it's easy to look at stuff and dismiss things as things that you've seen or interacted with before, but in fact, there's a lot of stuff here that you just have to sort of experiment with and find out, you know? I'm not too interested in fighting stuff if we can just avoid. That would be nice. Oh, Rubos, yes. I remember. There's the option of making Rubos tea as well. Well, I won't be able to jump that, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to get up there somehow. I'm not sure what the right pathway is to try and get up there. I do see some Vuka here. Perhaps maybe there's a way in. Not here, apparently. I definitely fell for that. Okay, there must be a way up. Maybe around the corner. Oh, God. Alright. Yeah, this looks a little bit more promising. Something of interest here. We do have a tiger thingo nearby. Vuka inscriptions. I am terrified. We came to investigate the Flame Sanctum, but while crossing the caverns, we found what appeared to be Vuka markings on the walls, along with loose tusks and bone scraps, despite this not historically being Vuka territory. I translated some of the inscriptions. They concern the great pillars of creation that can be seen far and wide. According to Vuka lore, ancients tore open one of the pillars with great explosion. The Vuka offer their tusks in a special ceremony to avoid another eruption. I do not know what these inscriptions mean, but I pray to those same ancients that those creatures do not interrupt our dig site. Lorraine Krim. Alright, so I guess there's a big dig site up here, which I haven't exactly explored. And I'm hoping that that will actually get us to where our ultimate destination is. I actually don't know if this is something that might actually be in the journal entry as well. And it might actually be worth checking. It is. Rumors of the Dragon Cave. And we'll get like some kind of a sword from it as well, so interesting. I'm starting to think about whether or not we're ready for such an encounter. Also, I can't exactly like respawn here because I don't have any altars available. We're using 7 of our altars. Perhaps maybe I can respawn from there, but again, it's a bit of a jaunt, isn't it? Ow. Yeah, so I have found that while fighting these tigers, you know, in the past I've tried to do those merciless attacks and I've not been able to actually land those attacks. But you can actually land them if you sort of come in at an angle from the side, I find. So if you try to do it from the front, you'll just simply fail. Yeah, this looks like we're going the right pathway. Oh wow, okay, we've got a big boy there. Alright, tell you what guys, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. I think it'd be useful if we had a flame altar to work with. Let me just actually take a look. We don't have any in our inventory. Right, I'm gonna go home. I know I've got plenty of stone sitting in storage, so I should be able to just simply craft one as soon as I get here. And then just go back again. And then... yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this one that we're going to right now, and we'll be able to place down a new one whenever we need. Yes, we are needing to backtrack a little bit, but I'm okay with that. And the reason this is important is because, well, I feel like we could potentially die from fighting the brawler. I mean, I am pretty confident against it, but you never know. I have made some silly mistakes before, so... but also, you know, if we get to the other side, obviously we do want to explore. And I'm not entirely sure if we will have enough time in this episode to do the second part of the exploring while we get there. Also, there's, you know, dragon rumors or whatever, right? Like, are we saying that we're going to be fighting a dragon or something at the end of this? Because if we are, that's also a little bit intense. Anyway. Is that the way up? Hang on. I'm getting a little confused now. We approach this from a different way. Survived that fall. Ooh, okay, what is going on down here? There's probably some kind of resource down here that we could gather. Ooh. Yes, this is quite nice. So this is just some tin, I think. So I should actually note this down. And yeah, that's quite a large deposit compared to some of the other places that we work on, so it might be worthwhile going back there for tin in the future. Anyway, let's continue on. Brilliant. Okay. Didn't take us too long to get here. And I'm gonna place down that altar. And we'll fight this brawler, and yeah, hopefully we have a good time. I know there are the smaller enemies here, which I really don't want them to disturb us, so let me just have that so that we can do a little bit of extra damage. And having hazelnuts is so good. Okay, come on, brawler. Okay, didn't quite reach him. Yeah, I'm having trouble trying to dodge that leap attack. Alright, very nice. You know, in fact, I'm thinking that the better strategy against a VUCA brawler is to actually just stay close to it. I think the further you are away from it, the more it'll actually do those leap attacks. I'm gonna head back. And, well, a couple of reasons for that. I think it's getting dark. No, actually, it's not getting dark. I'm thinking I want to grab another altar. In hindsight, I should have just crafted a couple. But yeah, let me make another one. And that way I can go back to where we were just before. And then I'll take that one down, and then we should be able to explore the cave and hopefully get out on the other side. And with any luck, we'll actually be able to hit this question mark, but yeah, I'm thinking the episode may be ending soonish. before we get there. Oh, what? How? Are we saying the brawler respawns? Not between sessions, but between altar respawns? I've never seen that before. I'm not entirely sure which way I'm supposed to go. Yeah, there's like a massive underground, like, VUCA base here. There's probably a whole bunch of stuff down there, which I have missed. Like a whole bunch of chests and stuff, maybe. But anyway, here we are, right on the other side. So, I'm hoping we'll find some useful stuff up here. Starting with whatever this is. Okay, looks like just a plain old copper mine. Let me just mark this down. You never know. We might need copper out here, although you know, there are easier places to get to find copper. Okay, so there's something going on over here. Perhaps maybe a flame sanctum? Which I don't mind hitting up. And apparently this goes even higher. Maybe that's the pathway that I need to take to get to our objective, but down here, perhaps there's something. No? I mean, this totally looks like some kind of important place. Don't you guys think? Alright. Little bit disappointing, but onwards. Do I want to get a wisp out? Might not be a bad idea. Do need to make more of them. Why are we not climbing? Okay. Nothing much going on up here, but we do still need to continue that way. I wonder if the location is through the VUCA caves. That could very well be the case. Location is below. still further below, apparently. Okay. I wonder if it was reachable from the outside after all. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We did manage to find our way here. I suppose maybe this might lead back to the Vuka caves. It looks like it does. I feel like maybe there might be Shroud down there. It's out here. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if we perhaps just made things harder for ourselves. Maybe we didn't explore enough. But I think this is where we're needing to go to. Ooh. Dragon sword. Alright, I was totally thinking that we would have to fight like some kind of dragon, but 37. Yes, this is much better than what we currently have, so I can now say goodbye to White Wolf sword. And I'll keep that as a spare, and we might perhaps start using this sword instead. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Hopefully it actually does a decent amount of damage. So yeah, there we go. A quick jaunt to the dragon cave. I mean, it does look pretty ominous, doesn't it? So, I'm glad that we actually found this place towards the end. So I'm not really going to need another altar, I don't think, unless there's some more stuff that I should be exploring and getting from this area. But I'm prepared to move on, to be honest. So let us make our way back to our new home, Wistful Fields. And I might call it an episode for now, guys, because I think when we come back, we'll probably continue with a little bit more exploring. I know we've hit one question mark, and that's done and dusted, but I think there's a few more that's hopefully easily accessible. I'm thinking maybe we go up this way. Time for harvest, and then a crucial investigation. I'm not sure if time for harvest will unlock anything for us in terms of crafting. I don't think that's the one. I think we're looking for, yeah, the almanac, and I think that's probably the next thing that we need. So, yeah, it could be sort of accessible as well, so we'll see how we go. Anyway, signing out here, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did. Otherwise, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.